Man, you gotta go back and play this. It holds up. This game, it holds up. Oh, you better believe it holds up. Do they though? Ludo! Lingo! Hello and welcome to Ludo Lingo episode 7. This time it's gonna be a little bit different, as it seems to always be. I keep doing something different every time. I just wanna talk to you about something I'm gonna be doing on stream from here on out. I've come up with a new series of sorts. I'm calling it Nostalgiage. You know, I love puns, so I had to come up with something silly like this. Basically, what I'm gonna be doing is take game recommendations or choose my own and go back and play games that I've played before and see if I think that they genuinely actually still hold up in the modern era, if they are remotely comparable to more recent games. What I hear all the time whenever we're talking about video games is people always point back to games from 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago that are like, those are the best ones. Those are the best in that series. They hold up, man. You gotta go back and play them. Seriously, trust me. They're so good still. And for me, whenever I go back and play older games, even if they're ones that I used to really enjoy, I can't enjoy them anymore. We've got criteria like what it feels like to move the character around. Is it choppy or is it smooth? How it feels to navigate the menus and what kind of options do you have? How does the checkpointing work? Do you get stuck when you die having to replay half an hour of a game just to get back to where you were? Does the lack of voice acting really harm the immersion into the story and whatever's happening? I guess the point of this series is that I almost want to like go back and play these games and then judge them as if they just came out, which I know sounds ridiculous. It sounds stupid. You're probably like, that's not fair, and it's not. But that's why I'm doing this as like a different perspective to look at this stuff. Don't judge it as it was when it came out. Because a lot of the time, obviously, if you look at some of these games, if you go back and look at them and you're like, yeah, that game was amazing and innovative and just super interesting and fantastic for its time. Obviously it was. Obviously, I'm generalizing right now, which I just made a video complaining about. But I think I'm doing it for good reason right now, just to prove a point. I know that for their time, there are tons and tons and tons of games that were absolutely fantastic. But are they good now? Genuinely, do I think if I were to hand these games to somebody now that hasn't played them and acted as if they just came out, are they still good? That's what I want to try to figure out. So I'm going to start doing this on stream. I don't know if I'm going to stream to YouTube. I guess if you want me to do that, let me down. Let me know in the comments. Generally, I stream on Twitch, but I am able to do both. So come on by the channel. I don't know what game I'm even going to start with, but I do plan to start this week. And I'm going to be coming up with criteria that I'm going to judge each game on, and I'm going to give them ranks. And, I might even end up making a tier list of all these games and rank them against each other. Why not? Just thought of that. I love tier lists. Why not? If you have any ideas for this series or recommendations for games that you want me to go back and play, feel free to leave a comment. I'm probably going to be doing some sort of more official way to generate which games I'm actually going to be choosing from. But the whole idea here is that I'm actually not going to play the entirety of these games unless I really get into it. Generally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set like a 3-hour limit on everything and be like, all right, I'm going to give myself 3 hours to reevaluate this game, how I feel about it, render a verdict, give it some letter grade scores based on a few different criteria. And then I guess I can end up ranking all of them on a tier list, because why not? So every stream is a new game, unless, again, I really get into a game and I want to complete it, then maybe I will. I'm not setting a rule here. But at minimum, you get 3 hours to convince me that I'm wrong about older games not being that enjoyable to go back and play. This doesn't apply to every single game, by the way. There have been some games that I've gone back to, and I do genuinely enjoy still playing them and think that they hold up. Usually, it's for like Super Nintendo 2D games because they hit some sort of peak there. But once you get into the early stages of 3D video games, I think it's pretty rough to go back. So there you have it. That's my idea. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any ideas for me to infuse into this idea to make it a better idea. And I'll see you at the streams, perhaps. And also, I will see you next week. Feel free to follow me on Twitch. Feel free to follow me on Backlogged. Feel free to check out my Patreon. And thank you to those that support me on Patreon. We have Hookie, Mex, Kinoth, and Scion. See you.